Tommy boy, we're back.
We are
Episode 2. I think first of all, we'll give a wee thank you for everyone that listened to episode 1.
Absolutely.
If they haven't listened to it yet, go back and listen to it before
What
you
you
talk this
doing?
one.
Tune in.
Once we're there, we can then crack on.
Yes.
But obviously today's episode is going to be on, let you take it.
The complications of social media. How social media can help benefit you, benefit your business, friendships, and how it can also make you feel a wee bit crap and kind of the negative effects of what comes with it. So, that's what it's going to be.
I think that coincides quite well with like, even our concept of why we're doing this podcast.
Yep.
Which we spoke about. Obviously, this is why it came.
Yes, of course it did, because the concept of the podcast is views on fitness from a fit guy's perspective and views from a so-called ex-fit, still fat, but
Oh, you know.
a so-called fat guy's perspective, and how there is so much similarities which people just wouldn't expect there to be.
You don't get that. I get the feeling sometimes that people might look from the outside and go, you are so far away from me in my lifestyle. And in some cases that is true. But there's also, once you get going, we do experience the same things, everything else that comes with it. Especially something like we're going to talk about today, like social media. It's huge. So much good to take away from it, but there's also a lot of bad in it. And I think that's what we're obviously going to untangle today. Not just, we're going to I think it's important to find that it has got its good points, but the bad things, what do we do to combat them? I've obviously been training in the industry for close to a decade now. I've kind of grown up without it as such, and with it, I think it's important. It's going to be there. It's always going to be a part for your business and everything else. But it has to. You have to let it come into your life when it's needed, and push it away when it's not needed. I
It's
think
about trying to set the boundaries, which is very hard for people to set, because the way that social media is, it's not made for us to set the boundaries. It's made for us to be scrolling endlessly and so engaged.
Aye. But before we get into it, first things first, the
Yes.
letters were produced last week.
They're
Do you want to do the honours first?
right. So I guess I need to.
What was the question again?
My question was, what is the longest I've went without sex?
Stitched you up there, didn't
Oh,
I?
you've done me. You've absolutely done me. The longest, the longest I've went without sex is, not that I counted,
The chart, calendar and all.
every day.
Oh, it's an all day past.
I think it was about a year and a half, mate. I maybe being generous there. About a year and a half, mate. I mean, couldn't fit anything else in my bed. So. That would be right, mate. I think when it doesn't feel like that until it is that. That wasn't fun. But listen, we're not going to get any more on top of that, right? A year and a half, a long time. The hips were rusty, man. And you need to
WD-40.
I call that DW40 all the time. I feel like a dick when I do it. Anyway, so my question to you, this is what I'm eager to know. What's well, I'll let you say it.
What's the most embarrassing thing that's happened to me in a gym?
Yes.
I mean, I've been thinking about this since episode 1.
Right,
But
okay.
I've gone, surely to God, something bad or embarrassing's happened to me in a gym. Yeah, I'm struggling to think. Well, I don't know.
Well, you're not getting away that easy. If you can't think of that, what's the most embarrassing thing what's the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to you?
Oh, you stitched me up there. Do you know what? Aye, go for it. So, me and the boys go skiing most years. This one year we went to Austria. We always have a mental night out. So I was like, we've went out, partied all day, all night. And the way our hotel was, it was like a kind of family run. It looked like a big massive chalet, but it was maybe 30, 40 rooms in it. you had to go in through like the reception, wee small reception, and you went out and it was a kind of like foyer where it was maybe, I was on that floor when you went in, so it was maybe eight rooms round this kind of other sitting area,
Okay.
2 couches, we kind of sitting area, and then there was this spiral staircase that you went up to all other floors, and then down was to breakfast. So obviously, me and Fitzy are the first room, we went out. Partied in one of the boys' room, and the security came down. All right, that's enough, boys. Like, go to your bed. So I don't even remember getting my room, but me and Fitzy went up to bed, and next day, Fitzy said he's woke up, and he's like, room's absolutely freezing cold. So he said he's jumped up, our balcony door's open, and you look outside, it's like -2, 6 feet of snow.
Fucking ski trip, aye.
So he's like, I hope so. He's like, why's he opened that door? And then he's turned round, the front door of the room's open. I'm like, so he said he didn't tipple, so he's obviously waiting for breakfast, like he's opened the door to be funny or whatever it was. So he's got ready, went to walk out to the front reception bit.
Right.
He said the cleaner's standing there, just shaking her head.
Right, okay.
I've just turned around, I'm lying. Not a fucking stitch on. on the couch at reception.
What a sight!
There's just this pillow sitting right across me. And he's woke me up, he shook me, and he's like, Donnie, what are you doing? I went, what is it? That way I've kind of got my wits about me then. And he's like, I'm in my bed. He's like, you at the reception? I've kind of looked about like that. Fuck.
What were you
I
doing?
said, I don't know. So he said, I've just grabbed the pillow and ran into my room. I was mortified. I'm messaging the chat being like, boys, I'm not coming down for breakfast.
Coming down for breakfast.
I knew everybody would have to have passed me to get to their brekkie. And it was maybe about 9:30 now, so everybody's away. So they've seen me. And obviously nobody's dared touch me. And I was like, right, get ready. They all got ready. I went out, just spent the day, we're all laughing about it. And I was like, right, it gets worse.
Right, okay, I don't know how, but...
So we've had the day skiing, I'm rough as fucking anything.
Right, okay.
Came back, dinner time, so everybody meets again. Say it's like 8 o'clock for similar dinner. I'm at to the boys. You just go down first. Like, I can't face that now. I'll come down when everyone's settled or there's people away. So Dave all went down, no heard for any of them. Went down the stair. There's like one of the staff is just sitting with the full restaurant round his phone, and they've all just looked up at me and burst out laughing.
That boy stuck you like a kipper.
So he's like, I'm like, what is on that phone? And he's came over and he's like, oh, by the way, I came off my shift the other night. You're walking about the hotel, sleepwalking. He's like, next night you just fucking... See, I've just went over, fucking pulled the shorts down, fell asleep in the bed on the couch, and that was me.
Mate, have you ever been back to the hotel since? Is it
The manager came over, he's like, look, boys, you've been some great entertainment in the group chat, but that can't happen again. This is a family-run hotel, and I'm like, of course, sir. Skis on, off ski. So that was generally the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me, and that is so out of character for me because I don't.
Do you have a tendency to sleepwalk?
No, never in my life.
That's absolutely hilarious, mate. That is so funny.
So that was the most embarrassing thing that happened. So see, since then, nothing really phases me.
Nah, heck, well, you've walked about just letting it swing, mate, in the hotel, man.
I tell you what, it's not going to look the best fucking ski holiday, is it?
No, freezing cold, man. Fucking brilliant, man. That's hilarious.
Oh, so that was that, mate.
Oh, you're crazy, man. That's a good story, mate. I'm happy with that one. At least there's no... I thought it was going to maybe be like, I don't know, a loud fart in the gym or something, but that beats that.
Oh, it beats that 100 times. There we go then.
Oh, what a guy.
So that's the tone set.
Absolutely.
Now, on to social media.
Mm-hmm.
I think we obviously want to talk about how much it's come into everybody's life, how important it is. And I think it's also, we spoke about this before, it's important to remember what social media is. It was designed by people far more intelligent than you and I. So it's designed to keep you there. It's got that if you look at even that's the kind of simulation from the slot machines and casinos, that Instagram reels, how they are now, just that constant dopamine hit.
That's crazy.
And
I've never thought like that's crazy, mate.
That's how it's kind of the thought process behind it now. There's also other ways to keep you engaged, but you're constantly looking for that dopamine hit.
Aye.
What's going to come, as well as people are now searching for that, and there's a lot of stuff to back that up, saying that you will go in pursuit of that dopamine hit, looking for it. And in some cases, you will get it. You feel good from it. It's good to take away from it. But what that does, and what it can obviously have that long-term effects, and putting too much of your life into that will cause that negative effect. And I think today we're obviously going to talk about ways to minimise it, ways to speak on it, and we'll see ways that I've managed over the years, because I've seen training being affected over the years. I've seen other people's maybe being affected.
Yep.
And sometimes you just got to go back to your roots. So I think, first of all, you've obviously grown up similar with it.
Yes.
Since you're getting into the gym, have you felt an element of pressure or anything that comes with you? I think that's the first thing we'll touch on today. Training itself and what ways to combat it.
Yep, absolutely. I think that's, in the gym, I try my hardest to, I can't lie and say I'm not on my phone in the gym, point blank, like that's it, underlined. I definitely minimise it to as little as possible, because the times that I'm on my phone in the gym is maybe changing a tune, or if maybe I've received a message for something important, like if I'm just getting texts and it's
tracking your workout.
Aye, like aye. Do you know what I mean? It's not. It's not like I'm on sitting at like a machine on my phone scrolling Instagram. That's not on. But I think social media with fitness and stuff like that has a huge positive on the industry. There's of course a lot of negatives that come with that. But for me, I've found a lot of the stuff that I have interest in through social media to do with the gym specifically. So guys I've met online, or maybe, for an example, some bodybuilders that I didn't know, or maybe I've watched a few of their things on Instagram, clicked on a few reels, the next thing you know I'm on their YouTube watching away or whatever, and blah blah blah. But there's also a lot of things on Instagram that would just make you feel like you're worthless as such, because you could be in the gym doing an exercise, and the next thing you know you click on Instagram and somebody's doing the exercise and severely critiquing everyone else for doing the exercise a different way. It's not that deep.
No.
It's not that deep. Do you know what I mean?
Particularly, I think at the level that you're at as well, and the things that have to be addressed first, that focusing the big things, then you can start nitpicking about things as such. But you see people and they're so particular about wee monotonous things, where how's your nutrition, how's your sleep, how's your hydration, all these things, the important fundamentals.
Yes.
And we always speak about this as well. Look, see the guys that you look up to, or they didn't know a lot about training, but they knew how to train hard, they knew good nutrition. Sometimes it's about going, right, let's just keep things basic, get good at it. Then you can start to critique things, you can look at things and go, can I do that better? And I'm how many years into it? You can always do things better.
Of course you can.
But get good at the things that are going to drive you forward first. And I think, especially with social media, there can be too much information.
Such an overload of information, mate.
I get it from now, not so much. When I first came into the industry, I'm like, oh, am I doing that right?
Yep.
Or am I? But you've seen it yourself, there's so many ways to do this.
Of course there is.
Everything has got like you said, an answer, a positive, a negative. You need to find what works for you. What can you stick to? What's your style of training? So me saying CrossFit's bad. I mean, that's not the case. CrossFit's great for people that love CrossFit.
Yep.
Bodybuilding's bad. It's what you like, what you enjoy, what can you adhere to, and what brings you that element of happiness. But do you feel sometimes too much looking at that, investing too much in it?
Absolutely, mate.
And
absolutely.
What do you do on those days? Because that can be apparent to anyone starting, even at my level.
Yes.
Oh, he's doing it that way and he's got X amount of clients and blah, blah, blah. I found just concentrating yourself. Like, you get everything else right and make sure you're doing things to 100%, and the good things will happen. Do that over a period of time, and you can't not get results, whether that's business related, physique related, whatever it may be. But do you feel did anything like that come to you where you're like, oh, he's doing it that way, and look at his results or whatever?
Really early on, kind of the first few weeks / months I was with you, and just beforehand, everything, mate, everything, because it was new. So it was like, it wasn't in a negative sense at that time. It was like, oh, this is cool, I want to try this, or I want to put a cuff on and do it this way, and blah, blah, blah. And there's nothing wrong with that, absolutely nothing wrong with that. But when it gets to the point of you're now saying an exercise that is benefiting you isn't because of the information that you've took off social media instead of what you actually feel towards it. So like, I think a common one for exercise is flat bench, barbell bench. Not a lot of people like using a bar for barbell benching. Well, no, I can't say no a lot of people. Millions of people. It's always got to be one of the big compound exercises. It's like the OG movement for your chest kind of thing. Yep. There's nothing wrong with that. I don't personally like, well, as you're my fucking coach, you program what I'm using and we agree on it and stuff. So for me, that's not massive, but I want to go to the next person saying, oh, you shouldn't do that, you should use dumbbells. Like, who am I to say that? Do you know what I mean? That's whatever feels right for you, go and do that. There was so much in the beginning, so much information that it just puts you off. That you're just like, if I feel wrong doing this now, I'm in the gym and now that gym anxiety is so strong because I watched this guy do this on Instagram, and if I'm trying to do it like him and I don't look like him, or people looking at me, do people think I'm silly? Do you understand where I'm coming from? And I can imagine you must get it all the time. People must ask you a lot of questions being a coach. Is this right? Do you think I should be doing this? Or X, Y, and Z? And probably taking it off social media and then thinking, I wonder if you'll have the approval of that. I wonder if he thinks that's a good idea.
I don't go with the fact of, no, that's wrong and what I say must be done. Go with open-minded.
Yeah.
Minded going, maybe it would have a place, but that does X, Y, and Z. Mm-hmm. You do this. Something might be similar. Some people like to just try different things, which you can explore, but ultimately you want to get back to what works for you. And it's easy. We can swap exercises every time we're in, but we know if you want to limit your gym anxiety, if you want to focus on things, keep things simple. Get a program.
Yeah.
Get something that works for you. Get a good coach that you can relate to. The other things that's going to limit all that, too much information, in my opinion, is the same as too little, because it can just blow everything up.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, fuck, try to do everything different. Like, and I think that's the best thing for going forward with your training. In terms of, do you have ways in the gym yourself that limits things? That keeps things to a minimum? Do you come in, do you do certain things that, because it's easy to go on your phone. You look at somebody's screen time, before you know it, you're back on Instagram. You ever get that way and you're like,
yeah, I get
how did I even get on here again?
Aye.
Have you got rules in place that say, right, now it's time to train? And
yes,
what would you do?
So, no apps in the gym, no TikTok, no sitting in between sets, scrolling your phone, looking to see whatever it may be, a motivational quote or somebody doing an exercise or whatever. Take your rest time to rest. Take your rest time to actually, like, know just your body. Take your rest time to sit and think, right, next, for me anyway, I guess this comes for the whole work hard kind of thing and all that. When I'm finished my set, I'm like,
productive session.
Aye, is that good?
I would argue you're not training hard enough if you can think, oh, just drop my phone.
Absolutely, mate. I agree. And I think in the beginning, especially in the beginning, you can be so, like, fatigued so fast. Do you know what I mean? And I don't think people that start the gym tend to be on the phone too much. I know when I started the gym, my phone was in my bag or in my pocket. It was done. I never had it. I probably use my phone more often now than I did then, but not in a negative sense, as in maybe if I'm logging workouts, which I get a bit of stick for because I don't do enough, or if I'm changing a tune, like I just said, or whatever it may be. But there's no sitting looking what my mum's put up on Facebook when I'm in between a set. I've not got time to think about that. You know what I mean? That's not what's on. What about yourself? What's your rules?
So I find it hard. Part of me still feels like my best training came from getting my phone away, enjoying my training, relax, and just being present in it. And I know that it might be hard for the kind of younger people who've grown up with tripods and everything else and training, but see when I was introduced to training, tripods weren't a thing.
Yeah.
So it came in, and I knew that wasn't the reason why I started loving training. So I was the guy that, I was at school and I used to walk up and I'd train with my couple of pals, and that stemmed out. There was still no tripods at that point. So the love was built with being present in my actual training. Nowadays, so when I feel personally, I'm not saying you don't train hard because you use a tripod, that's not the case at all. I don't feel as present in my training. The thing that I love when I'm videoing things, do I still video things? I do.
I understand that, mate. I understand that.
It's like I don't feel present in anything fully when there's a camera as such with it, or you see it and it's people try to seem happy on social media, they're doing this and they're jumping about, but they've ran over and it's all for the camera, it's all for the gram.
Yep.
Of course I need to show that, and that's the kind of caveat what you're at, I have to show that I'm training hard and that I need to get that point across, but I also need to be present and do what I love. That's for me personally, and just mentally. If I just keep videoing everything, I don't feel attached to my training the same way. So I think the big thing for me was just knowing when to video things, knowing when not to. Might be 1 or 2 sets, might be 1 or 2 exercises. I'll have 1 or 2 sessions a week, sometimes more. I go with kind of how I feel where I don't video anything. It's just me and my training. I'm there to enjoy it. That's the reason I fell in love with it, and I need to maintain that. I know long term it's going to be better for me, and it is about me as well. How much there's other ways you can go and market and do your things as well. Sometimes it's important, and I do that when I'm used as well. We've done a couple of wee videos where we're training together and you laugh, but you see me when I'm in my work, no phones, no
no.
It's about me, what's in front of me, my job. Again,
you maintain that professionalism. You do that. That's something you do really well, mate.
It's more that it's professionalism, of course, but it's also I'm present and I need to give you all of me.
Aye.
I mean, you need me.
Yep.
There's nothing on my phone more important to you.
Yeah.
So that's apparent. And now I'm trying to kind of stem that out for my life. See, when I'm out with my partner or anyone else, no phones. No phones at the dinner table. Because there's nobody on this earth right now that's more important on a social media platform. Never. Your time's important.
Yep.
See, that has to be apparent. And the minute you detach yourself from that, you're giving some sort of attention to something that there's nothing good for.
Yeah.
So it's try to just apply that going forward. I think that's, like I said at the start of the podcast, it is designed to make you addicted to it. There is times where you pick up your phone and you're like, how did I even get on here?
Aye.
And it's about going, right, it's not about saying you're stupid or you're silly for doing that. It's about being aware going forward. How do I minimise that? And I think that's ways that I'm trying to get rid of now. And can I do better? Of course we can. But I do that with kind of reviewing things, kind of process of it. If I pick my phone up and I feel drained, I go, right, well, what am I doing on it? Has it got a purpose right now? No. If it's not, then okay, I can step away from it.
Yep.
Am I going on it to be educated or entertained? They be things as well. And there's always that kind of, sometimes I feel, can't speak. You ever go on your phone and you're looking for the answer? I'm feeling a wee bit unmotivated today. I'm just going to scroll and see if something will pop up.
I used to all the time.
And it never appears.
Nah, I don't do it anymore, mate.
Done. It's that whole, you need to get your ass ready. You need to go and make yourself a coffee, put yourself and get to the gym.
Yep.
But the phone gives you that, something's here, something's going to push me, you need to push yourself. I think that's important. Getting in that wee mindset of going, right, I like to try and bring my phone to my life. I don't take my life to my phone. So there's parts of my life that I want to keep for myself.
Yes.
Not that it ends a secret or anything like that, but
I understand what you mean.
we've before you know it, you've got nothing about you. Everyone's just putting out there.
Aye.
And that's a danger as well, in my opinion, because you're just exposed, like everything's there.
Yep.
And that's, of course, it's people's choice, but
It's good to be private, mate. It is, of course. There's nothing wrong with putting everything publicly. If that's your thing, then that's cool. If you're doing it even in a personal sense, even if it's just that's the kind of open person that you are. But if it's maybe through business or whatever it may be, and everything's just up there for people to see, then that's cool. That's for you to decide. But I agree with you in that sense. The best training sessions I have are when the phone is in the pocket or it's on the flare. I'm listening to my music, I'm focused, I'm finished my set, I'm like, burst a few seconds, thinking, right, next set, blah, blah, blah. Letting that constantly run in my head, they're when I feel the best for my training. I can give 100% to my training, and I'm not saying that I can't when I'm filming stuff or doing my gym reviews or whatever it may be, but there's an element of fun, which is it's important to have that element of fun. It doesn't need to come through you videoing or doing whatever. It's whatever you feel. Tripods are such a great tool for people in the gym. Again, like we're just covering, it can affect so much. It can affect other people. Other people might not feel comfortable if you're in the back or you're doing this or doing that or whatever, or it can affect you in the sense that you're not training hard and it's now from a comical standpoint. And again, if that's your thing, then there's nothing wrong with that. That's kind of why... this is why I like doing voiceovers on my videos. Yeah. Because as much as it's fun in that, I'm still trying to get in my head right, like kind of what you said, that camera's not there. Like, we're going to do this set, and then when I'm doing my voiceover, I can have a joke, I carry on. At that time, I'm not thinking, I'm not there to be funny, I'm thinking, I need to nail this set, like, this needs to be mine here. So, I agree with you in that sense.
Do you think people are there to train, to show that they're training, rather than loving what they do?
I would love to say no, mate, but I think we both know the answer is yes to that. No. And I think that goes for anything on social media. Like,
you look at things and you go, I always kind of relate back and I speak about what's the best times of your life? Family, with your friends, anything that you felt totally, keeps using the word present, I mean, that was important, I suppose. Social media wasn't involved in it.
No. I couldn't tell you why the best times of my life was scrolling on my phone and I found something. Like, there's moments where I've looked at something fun, a video, but even when I'm sharing that, what I got from social media, I'm sharing it with someone. I'm laughing with it with someone. You know, exactly what you're saying. Yeah, I agree there. There's never a time where you look back and think, oh, remember that Tuesday night I was lying in my bed and I was scrolling Instagram. I had a brilliant time that night. Know what I mean?
Aye. Moving on for tripods, Tommy.
Yes.
And being in training, do you feel social media, especially when you're starting out, did you compare yourself to a lot of people, which I think even at any level, you'll see it, we spoke about this in the last podcast, you get people even that look amazing, but really insecure.
Yeah.
Has that ever kind of came to you, and if so, what's your ways of dealing with that?
For comparison as such, a lot of people that I liked in fitness weren't really the same as me, mate. So there's not a lot of fat guys that... not saying I don't follow fat guys, man. There's not a lot of... I've never beat myself up about somebody else's transformation video.
Yep.
I think that speaks volumes about me as a person. I'd like to think anyway, mate, that I'm no... Comparison can be a good thing, but with social media and fitness entailed with it, and this is just my view on it, that it can be such a negative thing, mate, because you aren't them. They'll know you either. They never went through what it is you went through to get here, or what you had to put yourself through, or whatever it may be. So don't expect the same result. Just try and stay in your lane. Yep. Keep focused on the next goal. Keep focused on the next step ahead. I never done any crazy comparing, to be really honest, mate. I never have. But I know a lot of boys that do. Some of my pals do. Some of my pals will maybe show me something and go, how do I look like that?
Yep.
Like, I go on AI, mate. I can't tell you how you're going to look like that, but I can tell you you're going to look better if you start doing X, Y, and Z.
All you can do is focus on what you can control.
Yep.
And when you're first starting out, I'm not going to pretend that it was... You compare yourself to people.
Uh-huh.
But as you develop and you start to learn things and you become a bit more confident in yourself and what you do, you start to know that is just a waste of time.
That is a waste of time.
And I've seen so many beautiful people, good people, let themselves down because of that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's hard to see, but it always relates back to insecurities that we've all got.
Yes.
You have to be able to deal with them. I think a big one was for me, it was Jimmy Carr talking about it, but I can't remember who it was at first.
Mm-hmm.
And it was the importance of jealousy. And I apply that for my life now. You can't have some of these good points and think that. You can't just look at somebody and go, he's got the fancy car or the money. You have to take everything from that person's life. So all of a sudden, you can't just take the car, the money. You have to take everything that comes with it. And if you look at anybody and you know they might be mad insecure,
Mm-hmm.
don't have a relationship, they can't communicate with people properly, there's things in their life that you would have to inherit as well.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you go like that, you keep what you've got.
I don't really want that as much now.
And it's not that that's me looking down on them, that's me saying I've worked on my insecurities.
Yes.
And I'm happy with what I've got. And I've added to that as well and go, for me to take what you have, I would need to give what I've got that's good.
Yep.
I've got a beautiful family.
Yes.
I've got amazing physique I've worked for.
Uh-huh.
Got a great business.
Some set of arms.
Good old damn, you're not getting my arms. But it's more I'm happy with what I've got, and to lose all that, to lose my mum,
Yeah.
to lose all of a sudden you go like that, I don't want what you've got.
Yep.
And I think that's been really good for me going forward. You can't just take people's good points, you need to take everything with it.
Yep.
And all of a sudden you're like, I'm happy with what I've got. And I think as long as you're aware of that and you can keep channeling and working to what you know is right, whether you believe in God or the universe, whatever, between that, you're going to get what's coming to you. Something good's going to happen. And I think it's also important within that time not to be jealous, but also applaud people.
Absolutely.
If somebody's doing well, clap for them.
Aye.
They've worked at it. And they, like I spoke about, they've got their things as well that they've been dealing with and they've managed to pull through.
Yep.
So it's important to just always cheer for people. You know, you see some people and they couldn't see fucking shit going past them.
Nah.
And they seem to have everything. And they're the ones you need to, in my opinion, you watch out for because they perceive to have everything.
They suck the energy out of everybody else, mate.
But they never want to see anybody else doing good.
Ah.
So I think you've got to clap for people. That's important. And at any level, see if you haven't got there yet,
Yep.
you need to clap for those people. They're the ones that are looking up for you. They're the ones that are going to teach you.
Yes.
So you've got to, go in it with a positive mindset. I think that's important. Spent too many times over the years, people in the fitness industry, and it's almost like it's a big competition.
Mm-hmm.
There's never been a better time for everybody to get good. Fitness-wise, business-wise, we can all do better. It doesn't have to be because he's doing good, I need to do rubbish.
Of course.
You're not doing well because you're not applying yourself in
That's
areas
it.
that you know you need to fix. It's nothing to do with how well he or she is.
Aye.
It's important to say, right, I'm going to just focus on what's in front of me. I can be jealous all I want. It's just going to give me negative back.
Yep.
Focus on what's in front of you. I think that's a good way going forward.
I think for comparison's sake, you've just kind of covered it there, mate, but it applies in every aspect to your life. If you're going to go on and you're going to compare the rest of your life based off X, Y, and Z from, it doesn't even need to be in the social media sense, and of course that's what this podcast's about, but if you're just going to compare it, like you say, about the car or the money or the watch or whatever it may be, you're never got to be happy, man.
I think I've realised that now, Tommy, the older I've got. You don't have your peace, you don't have much.
No. You
Don't care what you got, don't care if you get a 7-bedroom house, don't care if you get £1 million in the bank. See if you, and I spoke about that in the last podcast, see if you can't look yourself in the mirror and be happy for that. That's your problem.
Yep.
I mean, you've got to work on that.
Aye.
See if you can. You're one of the richest men in the world. I mean, and I do feel like that because I've got a great clients, great support group, great friends. an amazing mother. Wouldn't give any of that up for the world.
I love that, mate.
You know what I mean? So
Aye.
it's important to go, right, you've got that, I'm happy for you. I've got this, and I'm happy for you. And I'm going to work to my fullest potential to bring all these people with me and make sure, what I said, what we spoke about earlier, universe or God, whatever I get out of this, you're going to be part of it. Don't try and inherit other people's thing. You'll never be them. So don't waste an inch of your energy trying to. I think the next thing we always want to speak about that is being on social media, what it does to people. And a big kind of thing I've spoke about with you is the editing of photos.
Yes.
And it's a horrible thing to go over my mind, because I've seen it over the years.
A very touchy.
So-called people that are meant to be at the top, and before you know it's come out that he's editing photos, she's editing photos. But I think first of all, what's your experience of seeing that?
So I was looking on Facebook the other day, right, and I have an old Facebook account from when I was like 13 and 14, and it's funny to look at, and I gotta laugh at it now and whatever. And when I was at that age, can you remember the app Witagram?
Yep.
Right. I was a Witagram fiend, mate. I was the one that applied blue this side, white this side, filters, blah, blah, blah. And having a laugh. So I was actually sitting with my mum, and I was showing her old photos, Amy, and whatever, and we were laughing and having a joke and carry on. And it was like kind of one of the ones, the penny drop moment. My mum was talking about the importance of photos. She's like, my mum has loads of photos up the stairs, mate. And I mean like Sports Direct duffel bags to the ceiling, mate, of hundreds and hundreds of them. All your best memories. Most of them captured up here, but a lot of them are visual for a day.
Yep.
Not one photo's edited, mate. Some where my dad is standing with 2 teeth and a Budweiser in his tam. Some my mum standing with her hair all over the place, and others that the two of them look beautiful in, mate. And it's an odd thought to have, and it's only something that came to my mind recently. But I don't want to look back, mate, somewhere down the line, hopefully with a beautiful family and whatever else, and be like, oh, this is what I was like, and it's a photo of me with my teeth whitened and this crazy tan on me, or whatever the photo might be that you're editing, kind of thing. So for me personally, I'm cool, mate. I started on Instagram and take my top off and post, and I've got man boobs. Like I'm no giving a monkeys, mate.
Yep.
About people have got to thank me. I'm definitely not going to go and edit my photos for that. But I understand why people do, and I get that there is the insecurities. Addressing the insecurities, you've got to find that peace.
Yep.
You've got to live your life, and it's like you've got to get fun out.
Right.
If I'm sitting across for you and you've edited your photos and you're, I don't know what it may be, like put these big massive delts on and blah blah blah, and
don't say big elves. I've no edited a big one. Name one.
I can see you. Do you know what I mean? I know who you are. I know what you look like. You don't. If somebody's your pal, I hope in this sense, and I'll just quickly touch on this. If you're doing it to impress people about you and people that you would like to think are your friends and X, Y, and Z and whatever else, then your mate, like Tony, every one of my mates have walked into my bedroom and I'm in my bockies, mate, with quavers down my cheek. Like, do you know what I mean?
Seeing you at your worst.
Aye, that's it.
It's also, I think, to touch on that, like, see when you're looking at all these photos,
aye,
it tends to be when you are feeling at your worst, in your case, quavers fucking up.
Aye,
in between your tits. But you're also looking at your worst.
Yep.
And you're either looking at genetic freaks, you're looking at people that have edited photos, and you're going, what's happening here?
Aye.
That's natural. Of
course it is.
But you need to then take away for that. But going back to the editing photos, it's such a dangerous thing to go down, because I've kind of seen how it's went. And I'm not meaning somebody puts a flash on or the brightness goes down a wee bit. I'm meaning like manipulating your photos, face tuning, all this stuff. That is so bad for your mental health.
I agree, mate. I agree.
Because you can't be walking around like that, and you know that deep down, but you want to present that to people who don't care about you. They're the ones posting it in group chat saying, look what he or she's done. You think we're daft, look at the state of that, or whatever it may be. and you've sometimes got to go, you've got so many good things about you.
Yes.
You do. If I sat with you, there'd be something amazing about you. Don't let it be visual. It's a very dangerous game to go down, and I know we want to look the part and feel the part. Well, important that you feel the part as well, but if that's the only thing that you've got going for you, in my opinion, you run a very high risk. One, because it's very unrealistic. You've face-tuned your body, you've done all these things. So you run the risk, and this is how I see it, is you will attract people similar. And people aren't nice.
That's true, mate.
They're not nice people.
No.
Because they will move, they'll come to you, they'll see it, and see when the next pretty thing comes along, or the younger version, or they don't see you anymore. Because they invested in this false thing that you try to present.
Yep.
Present who you are. Be a better person. Be your amazing self.
Mm-hmm.
And that might sound a wee bit preachy and everything else, but it's important. Because like you said, you will get found out. And see if you are deep down, you're a great person. That's what people want for you.
Of course it is.
Your friends will want to go on your Instagram and see that you've edited all these things and changed all your body about you, when your friends love you either way.
Can't you go on CapCut and edit your feelings, mate?
No.
You can't jump on one of these apps and change an attribute that you've got. They're got to see if the people that are got to do that and put on their group chats and do whatever it may be. They're got to do it anyway.
No.
They're got to do it and say he's edited his arms, she's edited her bum, and if you don't, they're going to put it in group chats and say the state of them. Know what I mean?
For them, look,
that's it.
you'll never look good talking bad about somebody else. Like, I've learned that as you go. And this isn't us talking bad about people. This is about us saying you're going down a slippery slope.
Yes.
That I could have very well have went down as well. When I'm not good. I'm not good enough. I don't look like a Mike Fruston or a Ryan Terry. I'm happy with what I've got, and you can be as well.
Absolutely.
But only if you address what's in front of you, and that's the harsh bit of it. See if you're not happy in your body, time to get to work.
Aye.
Time to get to work. I'm sitting talking to a guy that was 25 stone.
Aye.
Time to get to work.
That's it.
Do you know what I mean?
We've peeled off a lot, but there's still work to be done, mate. The work's unfinished.
We were speaking about this last time. We can only get ourselves in that forward motion.
Aye.
The more and it's similar. I think a lot of it comes down to, why would I go to the gym? Why would I spend 6 months to a year when I can just spend 2 minutes pulling my waist in and it like that? But like I said, look further down the line.
Yep.
Let's take it to an example, like an extreme,
Uh-huh.
because it might get to that stage. We don't know. See, when you have a baby, you're going to edit its face, put it on Instagram.
Well,
You're going to do it to your child. That might seem extreme. But is that what it's going to get to? You're not happy with how you're.
see that's, if it gets to that stage, that before it gets to that stage, there's clearly an issue.
Aye, of course.
There's a problem there. That's something that needs to be addressed fully. Know what I mean?
This is visually looking at people that you're trying to impress people that don't care about you.
Aye.
Like I said to you, like, impress the people that have got your back.
That's it.
That's all you need to do. Whether that's parents, friends, partners.
Yep.
A lot of people don't realise what's in front of them. See, if you look at that, a lot of people see how blessed they are. And you, like I said, then you can start working on yourself, doing things. People will support you. When you're looking for the easy way out, that's not going to end well.
No, of course it's not, mate. Of course it's
and
not.
that, like I said, it's no everyone like watching this and feeling slaughtered. You need to navigate towards that, because very easily I'm in an industry where I could have done similar.
Of course.
This, and that's know what I want, because like we always speak about, it's being happy in your own body, happy with your training, happy with your nutrition, going out and feeling good about yourself. You're not the guy or the girl pointing across the dance floor, the beach club, slaughtering somebody. You're there applauding people.
And that's
you've worked hard, you're happy for people.
Aye.
You want to give that energy off, and I think that's important, whether you're in the gym or on the beach or whatever it is.
Of course it is, mate. Of course it is. Good energy attracts good energy.
100%.
It's always going to be the case.
Like I said, you attract the people that are similar. What do you think that's going to give your life?
We spoke about environment in the last episode. You've got to create the environment with people about you that are the stuff that you don't like about you, that you're trying to find in somebody else. You're drawing the same energy. You're pulling the exact same negativities or insecurities or whatever it is that you have in them, and just making it worse, because now there's two opinions on it. Now you shouldn't edit that, you should maybe edit that too, or maybe you don't even want to tell them and you want to look better than them for, like, again, this comparison, this competitive sake.
Aye.
Like, everybody wants to look good, of course they do.
That's
There's only one way to look good, mate. Go do the work. Just go do the work. Like, go do
believe
this.
in that energy. And
Aye, and it's only in the last maybe few years that it's really became a thing for me, mate. I've always been blessed, mate. Great family, good pals, always got a laugh and a carry on and whatever and all the rest of it. Sometimes some of my mates I would love to just sit and chill with and blah blah blah, right? But I can't, because they're just live wires and want to do this, that, next thing. So I feel like at the age I'm at now, I've only just turned 24, but I would like to think I'm a very mature 24. So I know who to be with when I'm doing X, Y, and Z, right? And there's nothing like, I can sit and do this podcast with you. We can sit here, we can get a laugh, and we can give people information and advice and have a good time, right? There's a few of my mates that 2 minutes into this podcast would have been, F this and blah, 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 and all the rest of it, and moaning, and I'm away, and mum will do this and mum will do that, and whatever. The energy that you give off to somebody, you're going to know if they get it or not.
Yep.
And that's big for me too. I know when I'm, again, this is extreme, I know when I'm no welcome somewhere, or no wanted somewhere, or it's the right time to talk and it's not the right time to talk. That all comes off getting the energy off. That's everything comes for that, mate. So
you wonder if that building this fake life, the false life, whatever it may be, when like you said, you'll be found out.
Aye.
So you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's that whole, we spoke about that poem, The Man in the Glass, last time, like, you know, deep down,
Yep.
like, just selling yourself short.
Aye.
You go to address what's in front of you. You do that, there's goodness there for you.
Absolutely.
There's goodness for everybody around you as well. And I think how much, not going on too much about editing, it's a problem. How do you feel that something I always do is, when I'm on social media, see if something doesn't serve me, I'll come away from it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll mute, I'll unfollow anything that triggers, because let's not pretend that it still doesn't happen. And this isn't us saying do this, do that, and it will stop. Things will still appear, but if you can arm yourself with ways to mitigate that and make it a bit easier for yourself, things feel a bit lighter. You can say to yourself, right, I've got blockers on my phone because when I feel a bit drained, I don't want to be on X, Y, Z. Similar to folk, the saying, nothing good happens in the club after 12 o'clock. Nothing good in the club. Nothing good in the club. In the club. Nothing good on Instagram happens after 9 o'clock. So I'm not on it after that.
Okay.
There's nothing.
Yep.
That's just what works for me. I've got other things I need to go and focus on at that point. Setting those wee things up are good for you. In the same breath, if people trigger you, if you know that lifestyle isn't real, or that whole thing, you're seeing the best of people's lives. Be aware of people's shit.
Aye.
Because you know, I've kind of learned that whether you're worth X amount, or you've got this, or you live in this city, or you've got, people deal with a lot of the same stuff. And if they're not content and they're not happy, they're not got the things that mean the most, then all these extrinsic things are irrelevant.
Of course.
Have the 5 watches.
Yep.
Have the fancy cars. Go on the fancy holidays. See if you're not got proper peace in your own body and how you feel when you're not happy with everyone about you. Going back to that, I wouldn't trade your life for at all.
Nah.
I feel like one of the richest men in the world. I've got my amazing clients, amazing friends, amazing like family, partners. Like these things they're all huge.
Aye.
And most people have them, but they go on social media and they forget about them.
Yep.
Sometimes come away, have a look in front of you. You might have kids, you might have partners, whatever it may be, family. It's all there in front of you. So I think it's do a review of what you've got. And you might start to go, do you know what? Maybe I don't need to edit that. Maybe I don't need to invest myself in that amount of time. That's something that I continuously do. Reviews. I've got a lot here. You can step away. But moving on. our sweat the small things section.
Yes.
It'll be thing where we come in and we say, if you apply this going forward, it might help you. What's yours this week? What was it last week?
Last week was the morning routine.
Morning routine.
So it was. And by the way, I done the whole preparing the stuff the night before. And
How'd
stuff
it
like
work?
that. Brilliant.
Tell me that for months.
It really did. Honestly, I'm not just saying that to say it. It really did, mate. There's none of that waking up and thinking, oh, I need to do this or I need to do it. And there's nothing worse than that, Tony.
I might stick a Brady in the air fryer for my brekkie this morning.
Aye, it's no, none of that. I even went as far as putting my bowl on the scale, so all I had to do was press on and off and pull my Cocoa Pops into it.
Why did you not do the Cocoa Pops the night before? Put a lid on them.
Because I was in
There
a
you go.
bowl.
You're going to save yourself an extra 14 seconds tomorrow.
Thanks very much. I
There we go.
appreciate that. That's an extra 2 steps. Maybe more than that. 14 seconds takes me for 2 steps. That's an issue there. Fuck me. Right. Anyway, sweat the small things this week. I think just going off the back of what we said, be present, be appreciative. You're sitting with your girlfriend, enjoy the time.
Yep.
Sit there, cuddle on the couch, listen to tunes. Sit with your mum, tell your mum you love her. I tell my mum I love her all the time, but I don't feel like I tell my mum I love her enough. Enjoy the wee moments. Enjoy being in the gym with your pals, in between sets, even though we've just spoken about knowing your phone or whatever, that be laugh and carry on, sitting up the bedroom or sitting in the coffee shop or whatever it may be, having a good time. This is so much more relevant than that, mate.
Yep.
That's no, like we just said, you're not going to have a fantastic Tuesday night and remember it 10 years down the line because you've seen Tommy Dwayne, Fat Boy Aesthetics Part 2, something on Instagram. Like it's there for people to look at and have a carry on a laugh with in the meantime, aye, but it's not really that important.
No.
Know what I mean? What about you? What's yours?
Again, I'll keep it related to...
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I'll go on social media and like I said, you feel a wee bit drained. And that's because I'm on it for work, whatever it may be. I don't think anyone in the fitness industry has ever done this, so I think I'll be the first. So
Okay.
I've got... you do know I'm a bit fucking mental sometimes. I do some crazy things myself. So I've just started it recently, and I think it could work for a lot of people.
Right, okay.
Maybe not, it could be anything.
Mm-hmm.
So I've got a playlist on my phone. So see if I'm on social media and I feel a wee bit drained, or I've seen something that's maybe I've not wanted to see or whatever it is.
Yep.
I've got a playlist of like right good tunes that I'll put on.
Right.
I'll sing them. I'll get a wee boogie about the house. And that'll lift my mood. Mate, it works an absolute charm. So whenever I'm feeling, the playlist is a battery because I know if I'm drained, get your battery back up. So I'll do it.
So you singing that and whatever?
Whatever's needed.
Sing a tune.
I think
What's
that's...
your favourite tune to sing in the playlist?
Want me to sing?
I want you to sing, aye. Go.
Fuck it.
He's a verse.
Mate, see, to be fair,
Uh-huh.
I walked about naked in a family-run Australian ski resort.
Australian?
Australian. Austrian. I'll sing in front of empty.
Right, let's do it then.
Right, on to the playlist, what we got? Mate, I'm telling you, it works every time.
Here we go. Not only does he dance, but he sings.
I've got a bit of sore throat now, so I'm
you?
normally brilliant.
You're going to need to sack the PT in, mate, and go to entertainment caravan parks, man. Right, man, Tony.
Tribute Gareth Gates. Right, do you want my karaoke?
Aye, let's go. Let me hear it.
Well, I like Frank Sinatra and that, but I just feel that this one's a bit better.
Okay.
You might know it. Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Right, you're down in your dumps. You're like, oh, I'm feeling a bit rubbish today. You ready?
Oh, let's do it.
You make me feel funny when you come around. That's what I found now, honey.
Honey.
Whatever do without you, you make me feel happy. Your mood's already up, you're going. When it plays in my hand, it plays in my mind now, honey. Whatever do without you. Oh, do you know the chorus, Tommy?
No.
Everything we have is just I found someone who's just like you.
You.
Oh, we got a little world of our own. There you go.
You're That's brilliant.
It works
That
every
does
time.
work. I feel amazing.
Shite at singing. Who cares? You feel great after it. Like, I've just lifted your mood there. And that's,
Brilliant,
do you know what? I started thinking of it, and I'm going to rabble on a wee bit just now.
Uh-huh.
It was more, see when you feel somebody's down, what do you do?
Well, you try to
You
be
try your best, you pick them up, you act like an idiot, you'll do what's needed to lift that person up.
opposite sides.
Do it for yourself.
So,
That's all my kind of basis behind it.
yep.
You feel a wee bit down in the dumps, lift yourself up.
Aye.
Can't rely on everybody all the time.
No, you can't, mate.
So, see if that means making a playlist where you look like a fucking dick. The postie comes, he's at it again. But do it. Who cares? Because I know, see when I go back into work or I speak to my clients, I'm going to be better. So that would be my thing. Find something where you can sweat the small things that will lift your mood up. It doesn't have to be as fucking mental as a playlist for me. It could be anything.
Aye.
But when you do feel a wee bit down, be aware of it, go and apply it. Looking on Instagram, looking on the things, staying on it, going in search of something that's drawn energy out of you. Not the answer, not at all. Move on, get the tunes on.
That's it, mate. Radio Gaga, living room, gear off. Hopefully nobody's in. Aye, I love that, mate. That's a great one. So it is.
Why?
I'm going to apply that. Now, you walk out of the gym, the gym. You walk out of the gym, man. I'll be out at the dumbbell rack feeling sad, man. Ears bouncing, man. I'll not be singing, but because I'm murdered at that.
So there we go.
Yes.
Last bit.
Mm-hmm.
That finishes the podcast off in the high, but we have our questions for
We
next
do.
time. Episode 3.
Yep.
I'm not going to tell anyone what it's about yet, but let's trade questions in and we'll see.
Let's do it.
What we got? Sat it there.
There you go, mate.
Boy, watch my mic. Come on. I'm sorry.
Your handwriting's quite good. Do you know that?
I'm a lefty as well.
Are you?
No.
What foot do you kick with when you
If
play
you say what
football?
font do you write with? Times New Roman.
What?
Bold.
Comic Sans. What foot do you kick with when you play football?
Left. I'm a lefty.
Do
Lefty.
you? Jeez, oh man.
Psychopath. Let me go first.
Aye.
What was the hardest thing you had to overcome in your first bodybuilding prep? Okay.
You've actually gave me a good one this week. You get to have dinner with any 3 people from any time. Who are you picking and why?
So what do you think about?
That's one to think about, mate.
Good question.
That's a very good question. So it is. I'm just happy you never nailed me to the bed.
What?
I could probably have used a better scene for that there. I mean, nobody nailed me to the bed, mate, when I hear that. So, aye. So that's us, The questions are there for next week.
Oh, there.
Yep. Come
Focused
back to
on.
find those answers out.
Anything else touch on before?
Nah.
We're happy. I think it's, like I said, it's important when you're on social media, things to go over. Be aware. Like, be present and know, right, if this is drawing the life at me, what can I do to do better? And go and look outside. What have you got in your life that you can be happy about?
Aye.
I think that's the biggest kind of takeaway. If this social media can be great,
Yep.
but it can consume me as well. And when it does, it's about you evaluating things. What can I do better? Don't look for the hard way is normally the only way in a lot of cases.
Yes.
Go in search of that. I'm sorry if it might take so many months, years, but ultimately it's going to make you better. And that's kind of what we want for this podcast. Anything you want to add away, and we'll get up and get out of here.
No, there's nothing. I'd just like to thank everybody that's already watched the first one, stuff like that, and we really appreciate kind of the love we've got for it, and hopefully they continue to come back and watch to get a wee giggle. And I think sooner or later we can maybe think about a guest or whatever, but the time will come for that. Right
Right
now,
now it's just Big Tony and Tommy.
That's it, brother.
Right, my boy.
So that's it, eh? Get
Same again.
up.
Hug it out. Get up.